It's a beautiful day. My husband and I are sitting on the water's edge of the Nile. We are celebrating the great news about expecting our first child. We have a very happy marriage with a great love and a mutual respect that I have never experienced in this life. We are equal, and he truly treats me like a partner. I'm married into a more privileged lifestyle than I had before, but I had the proper lineage that approved our marriage. And we all live in this beautiful compound where his parents and siblings reside as well. Something that is not uncommon for this type of household. It seems to be a line of royalty of some sort. We are discussing getting our own place before a child is born, because as of late, there's been chaos in our home. My brother-in-law often harasses me, and when his brother is not home, he finds reasons to be around me. A few weeks ago, I was in the bathing house and he came in uninvited. I asked him to leave and he would not. Luckily, my sister-in-law entered before anything could happen. She questioned him why he was there, and he made up lies that I often tease and taunt him, causing him to lose his mind. She believed her brother, but of course my husband believed me when I told him what happened. The two have always been competitive. I had met his brother first when we were children. We had some sort of training classes together. We got along well, and he must have had an affection for me that I was not aware of. Years later, after my husband and I first started dating, and he wanted me to meet his family, it was then that I realized that I knew his brother from those classes. He seemed to attach some sort of game to it all, often saying it was him that met me first. On this day by the water's edge, it was peaceful, and I was so looking forward to having our new home together. There was some property that the family owned that we could build on, and it was this day that he had a meeting planned to begin the construction so that it could be completed in time for a new child. And he went on his way, and I continued sitting there in the sun by the water. Soon after, his sister approached me in a more friendlier way than she had been as of late. She said she needed to do some things that required going down the river and asked if I would ride along. She said she wanted to fix things and make them more like how they had been before, and that she wasn't happy about us leaving the estate on such bad terms, and how family needed to stick together. I agreed to go with her, and as we got on the boat and started down the Nile, I could see my husband running down the edge of the water, waving at me. We had already set sail, and by this time, I realized that his sister began talking downward to me. I was positioned in the boat in a way I could see my husband hollering and saying something, but between the distance and my sister-in-law's now loud screaming voice, I could not hear what he was saying. I could see that there was an emergency of some kind by the way he was waving for me to come back. So I told her I want to go back, and she refused. I then stood up and we began to struggle, and she just tossed me off the boat into the water. I was treading the water trying to get acclimated, and it was then she took the oar and started hitting me on the head with it, trying to push me under the water. I could hear my husband's cries as they seemed to be getting closer, but all of a sudden there was a hard blow to my head. This is where I leave my body and I can see things from above, and I see my husband in a boat approaching me, and he jumps into the water to get me, and it's just too late. I'm limp and there's blood everywhere in the water, on me, on him. His sister seems distraught as she's on her knees on the floor of her boat, saying to her brother that she had to do it for the family. He's rocking me back and forth, crying, and as I watch this, I have this larger picture of why this happened, and I don't have any animosity against his sister. All I feel is this great love for my husband and a great sadness that I can't be with him. And it seems that time's going very fast, and all of a sudden I see his sister paying for the crime, and I see my husband alone in the house we were going to build together. It seems he's trying to move on, but he just can't. And then I can see him older, and he's still alone. And then all of a sudden, I feel this pulling, and it's just like I can't see this anymore, and I'm being pulled, and all of a sudden it's getting faster and faster, and the light is just becoming brighter and brighter, and there he is. And I see him.